So I shall just, without further ado, welcome you all. So hello and welcome to today's IAPC&M CPD Building Masterclass. My name is Judy Kennedy and I am your host. Today from a very sunny Zeeland in the Netherlands. We have a bit of a heat wave here today, which is rather enjoyable. So today we welcome communication designer Ingrid Lill, who is all about vision and sketches and brand strategy. And I'm really personally very delighted because, we can have our business as great as we want it to be, or it can be brilliant. But if nobody can find us, nobody hears who we are and what we do, then there's not much point. And always the personal touch. I love, Ingrid, that you added that for years you thought you couldn't draw and were terrified of people seeing what you were doing, which is something that I can resonate with. And now it's what you enjoy the most. So isn't that wonderful to see how we sometimes make the things we're the most scared of our best thing? Before we get into the topic, some housekeeping. So our call today will be a maximum of 1 hour, and that includes Q&A. Ingrid saying you can ask the questions as you go along, so feel free to do so, or otherwise put them in the chat and we will take them as we go along. The session is recorded, so please mute yourself, but keep your video on so the speaker can see that they're not just talking to themselves, and do use the chat box for questions and suggestions. Right, so we need to get back into gear after the summer, so I hope you have your CPD pad and your pen ready. You will be taking copious notes because we want to be able to put this in action afterwards. So topic today is map your message. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yes, I was afraid of drawing, and I want this to be a workshop, and I want to show you how easy it is to draw. So get your pen not only to take notes, but to draw. This is something, it doesn't mean that you will be able to do like finished illustrations, but maybe you will. But it's also for your own clarity. So sketching is for visual thinkers, is the best tool that you can use. And should I start with my presentation and everything?
It's all yours. Exactly. I'm here if you need me. Otherwise, I'll mute myself so we can all focus on you.
Okay. So I'm now in the wrong workshop. Wait, the wrong presentation. Sorry. There were two windows open. I'd start again. Here we are. Here is my story. This is me. And was I muted all the time?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're muted.
You. Yeah, I've got to mute myself, but I muted you by mistake. My apologies.
Okay, I start again. This is my little brand in a nutshell portrait, and you can do the same for yourself. It will be not only, I'm using it to communicate what I am and what I do, but you can also use this principle that I will explain to you to get clear about your own brand and your story and stuff. So my name is Ingrid Lill. I'm a business coach with a pencil. This is a title I gave myself. I'm originally from Germany. I'm living in Denmark. I've been living here for over 20 years. And I have a master's degree in visual communication many years ago. And so I have a huge design experience and have been running my business for actually longer than 8 years. It went through different iterations that I will go through later. So this is all my, what I have been doing. And my background, I grew up as I'm very tall, a tall girl in a small town. And back then I wanted to fit in, but I was just too creative and too tall to really thrive in this environment. But I overcame the tall girl syndrome, and now ironically, I help my clients stand out. And one crucial moment was that I discovered not too long ago, that visual thinking can help me get clarity. So what I do now is, before it was graphic design and communication design, now it's more idea illustration and visual strategy for actually a lot of coaches. And this was me before. I was an artist, but I didn't illustrate. I thought I wasn't good enough for illustrating. I was hiding. I was so not business-minded. This here, by the way, is my little creative genius that was also hiding. Should I make it a little bigger? When I discovered that drawing can be easy, that it doesn't have to be art, that was such a game changer for me. Because back then I thought I have to show my drawings, and because I had all this visual background, it needs to be beautiful and it needs to be elaborate. And then I found out, when I discovered graphic facilitation, that drawing can be easy and that it's for communication and not for art. So my little genius here was happy. And it really feels like freedom that I am allowed to do ugly drawings as long as they get the point across. But I also needed to make money. So the overwhelm was still there all the time. How to balance my business and my and what I wanted to do. And my clients, they came with stuff that didn't make sense. So I was doing websites, and but it didn't really fulfill me anymore, because I knew I could help them on a deeper level. And I developed, and then I had this one moment. This was the low point, when I had to like typeset something with really small type, and I thought, I'm getting too old for doing stuff that I don't enjoy, that doesn't really make sense in my business. And so I took my own medicine and thought my whole business through. Not illustrating it, not making art, not whatever. I drew a map of my business, and that helped. And so I thought, that is something I can do for my clients. So now I have different offers, and this is also meant to inspire you to come up with some offers and to map out what you're doing, combining what you like most with your expertise. So instead of just saying I'm coach in a specific niche, but you have probably heard that 1,000 times. The thing is, it doesn't always work for visual thinkers. It doesn't help to only hear it. It's different. For me, this made all the difference. When I thought, who is it I want to help, and what do they get out of it? And I drew that. It looks like this. This is my business now. I draw these kind of drawings in a live session on Zoom. And this is then my client who has a muddled message, and there's a gap. Their audience doesn't really hear them. They, that don't get caught, although she could help them. So in my program, one-to-one or in my group program, I help them to do simple visuals, a clear I draw simple visuals, clarify their message, and then help them to share it strategically, which is then the result. And then the people look over at them. And the principle, that is what I did first, and now maybe you wanted to take notes. First, draw your customer, or with stickmen. It doesn't have to be in any way beautiful, with their problem, and define who is responsible for it, because often it helps with your messaging if you can blame some institution, what is the misconception that keeps your client stuck. This is a really helpful sentence. If you have that, then you can hammer on it about that on social media. What is it they are dreaming of? That is also something you should get clear of. What is their idea of paradise? Not what you think they should get, but what do they want, and then how do you get them there? So this customer transformation is at the heart of what I'm doing. There is more to it. So this, by the way, this is a pilot because you are the pilot of your business, and you're transporting your customer over from the problem pit into paradise, and you have a plan and a product. That's why this is a pilot. So this is you, and there is more to it than, so this is the bare bones of the customer transformation, but there's also a lot of stuff around you and your story. If you yeah, I will get back to that. I wanted to show you now how to draw a simple figure like that, and want you to draw along, because often people think drawing is complicated. And this is now not about mapping your message. This is just how to draw a little figure that is fun, that you can use to draw your customer, for example. Because if it's fun, then also mapping your message is, if it looks nicer, also mapping your message is nicer. So what I do is I draw first, this is the head, of course. But if you want to add hair, then maybe you want to just draw a U shape. And please draw along. A U shape with some hair here and ears. And then put eyes in the middle of this. So if this is your head, then find the middle and put your eyes, put your eyes there. Very often we tend to put the heads too far up, and this is like the main reason why drawings look weird. Because the problem is, if you put your eyes too far up like this, then there's no space for brain, and that doesn't look as good unless you want that effect. But usually it looks better like this here. And then a smiling mouth and a little nose or big nose. So this is how I draw my faces. And I draw these faces, it's always the same. This is my little secret. Don't tell anybody. If I draw a man, then I draw the same face. And I mean, sometimes I draw a bigger nose or so. If I draw old person, I draw different hair and maybe glasses, but otherwise it's the same face. So that is easy. So you just decide who is your customer, man, woman, and you draw the hair as you want. So next step is, this is actually already enough, but I will show you the next step anyway. So we have the head here, then you draw a little U shape here. This is the head, no, this is the neck with the t-shirt, what's it called? The t-shirt, what's it called? Collar. So U shape, and then a line. So you imagine there's a line going through here and here, like that. So yeah, not this here, and don't draw the shoulders, not the head balancing on a line, but the shoulders are behind the head. And then shoulders down, and here is the torso. The arms are behind the torso, and ta-da, this is your figure. If you draw a man, oh, maybe this is a woman, and you want long hair, then you can draw long hair. And if it's a man, so maybe he needs a little more hair here. You draw the same principle, a U shape here, shoulders behind the neck, and then you can add a collar. And then you have a shirt. And if you don't have an iPad, like I have, use not pencil, but a black fine liner and a highlighter, maybe blue or so for shading. Now going to shading, which is like totally unnecessary, but it's still fun. Like that. A light color. So black lines and a light color. Transparent. It needs to be transparent. Don't use red. Red is too dark. Use, for example, yellow. And then you put a little bit of shading here, and you don't have to be very careful with it. Here, line, red cheeks or yellow cheeks or green or blue or whatever. And ta-da, like that. Same here with the guy. And then you can also put a little shading here on one side. So this is how I draw my figures. And now the last thing about this figure drawing, if you don't want them to be happy, because your customers before their customers are not happy, they have a problem, right? And then you draw. So now I draw different hair just to show you how to draw. Oh, see, now I have the eyes too far up. They're not, they should be in the middle of the whole head. Okay, of course they can just have a sad mouth. So that is easy. They can also have like they don't really know mouth, or they can have a really the kind of desperate mouth. But now I'll show you something with the eyebrows. So even if she is smiling, then and now we don't have, if it's neutral, you don't need eyebrows. If you want her to be angry, then you draw the eyebrows like this. And now she's smiling and angry, so that it gives kind of an evil expression, which is great for enemies, drawing enemies. Like that, she is more like offended or just, yeah, angry. But now I show you what you can also do if she's not angry, but sad, then you angle the eyebrows like that. So this is really easy. It's only the eyebrows and the mouth who are that are different in the expression. It's not the nose and it's not the hair. Oh yes, it is actually the hair. What I often do is when they're sad, like in the before state, if they're frazzled and confused, then maybe they have also disheveled hair. And afterwards, the hair also looks better. Or if they're sad, then I draw like really limp hair. So this also adds to the expression. And as you can see, my eyes also have a tendency to move up too much. So watch out that your eyes are not going too far up in the head. Looks better if it's in the middle. So this is my little mini course in figure drawing or in drawing faces, and it's really, really easy. I can give you a link to my mini course where I go through this. Should I put that in the chat? Would that be a good idea? So it's the same principles, but with, where's the chat? Here. The same principle, just with paper and pen and a camera, and I explain it all again, and then you can watch it again. And this also comes with a visual LinkedIn template that might be useful. Because drawing alone won't bring you any clients. There is a whole, I mean, this is this is the easiest part. People always say that they can't draw and drawing is too difficult. It is not. Drawing is the easy part. What is difficult is that they make it too complicated. That everybody tries to put everything in one sentence, and yeah, it's not simple enough. And I find that putting it all into a system helps with simplifying. And I will show you my method, which is here, the Visual Minds method. And I have to, wait a second. This is on a different, now I put it here. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So remember the pilot from before? There is more to it, and the passenger. So this is your customer. And maybe you want to draw along and draw this diagram and fill it in with your own customer, your own passenger. And remember, it's you are the pilot, but the whole thing is a storytelling around your ideal customer, client. Okay, so this is a nice person, but it's not a client yet because they don't have a problem. If they have a problem, then they land in the problem pit. Remember that from before? So if you are, let's say, a weight loss coach, then what you know what the problem is. It's I mean, I can tell you what my problem is, that people have learned in school that drawing is art and that it's pure luxury. And so this is, so they don't use their visual thinking ability and have this problem that the confusion. And this is not only the problem, this is also my enemy, is all the people who have taught that drawing is art, putting artists on a pedestal. And so it's very useful to be able to identify who is to blame for the problem that you're maybe overweight or whatever customers have. So what were they made believe that keeps them stuck in the problem pit? This is very, very useful. That makes a great headline for your website, actually. And this is your point of view. This is your where you can express your empathy. And remember my story before that I showed you. So on the right side was the empathy part. So because this is also about your story. So what to do with a customer in the problem pit? You need a product, which is your service, your coaching service, and your authority. So you don't only empathize with them and say, oh, that's too bad that you can't draw. You also have a product, a course or one-to-one service that helps them get out of the problem pit. So you have to, and a plan. You also need a plan what they have to do, like 1, 2, 3. And even if your program has 17 steps or 71, you should still communicate it on your website as a 1, 2, 3 thing, not only on your website. You can go in blog posts and stuff. You can go deeper, but there should also be like a bird's eye view of what you're doing in order to communicate it. And what happens then is you, with all your expertise here, you can bring your customer into paradise. This is what they're dreaming about. And you do all that with your offer. And the offer is something, it's not your coaching service. It's a certain package with a name and a price and a promise. And you can try out, because I mean, one of the biggest problems is always that people are reluctant to niching, in my experience, and don't want to. So instead of niching yourself, you can try out different offers and then build this little ecosystem here around it and try out if you love it, if it works, and then it might become the seed of your brand and your niche for now. And please, if you have questions, you can just interrupt me.
Yeah. We've seen Inma's written what program software you're using. Jill asks, how would you do the drawings if you don't have iPad or Apple?
Yeah, if I don't have an iPad, wouldn't have an iPad, I would use paper and pencil and a fine liner and a highlighter. That's what I have used all my life before the iPad was invented. If on the iPad I'm using a program called Concepts, Concepts app, which is a really, really nice program, because what you can do with it is you can move the lines around like here, and like, you know, it's not a and you can change stuff. So it's not a painting program. It's ideal for these kind of simple illustrations. and maps and stuff. What was the other questions? How would I do the drawing if I don't have iPad? Yeah, paper and scissors. I would take a big piece of paper and then draw the elements and then move them around, and instead of making one piece of art, use it as a working sketch. So, but there's more to this. So this is kind of the big story, the overall bird's eye view map of your business, of your messaging. And if you do a presentation, then you might want to adjust the story that you're telling, your introduction, according to what you want to sell at the end. So the offer and your product and your story and your point of view should fit together. And let me know if you have questions about that. And the way I help my people with that is, here, yeah. So what we have here is, here's your promise. What is it? So mine, remember this, where is it? Here. What I showed you here. So this is actually the hearts part. With the hearts is the empathy, where I like try to make myself relatable. And then this here is the authority part, where I show that I do have the expertise to help people organize their messaging. And yeah. So this is your promise, then your story. How did you get to do what you're doing now? This is the typical, I have been there. I know how it feels. Like I didn't dare to draw, or I didn't know how to lose weight, and then I discovered this method. Then your vision, what do you want the world to be like? I want everybody to express themselves, be able to express themselves, either with whatever is necessary. I don't say everybody needs to draw, but those who want to draw, they should be able to, instead of being afraid. Yeah, you need to be able to explain your process in order to sell your service, because this is what you want to do. And then and you do that by showing your audience what is possible. I have developed, so, and then you can create mini stories around that to share on. Are you still here? Somehow this Zoom thing has disappeared.
You're still here.
Still here?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why. Yeah, good. Okay, I just
Your
continue.
screen, we can hear and see you.
Okay, great. Yeah, and this here all is ideas for content. Mini stories that are connected to your map of your brand. That is your origin story, your why, and stories around that. So on this side is all the your messaging, your why this problem shouldn't exist in the first place, why in my case visual thinking is always underrated, and why and that people overcomplicate stuff instead of just sketching it out and stuff. And then all this here is about your clients. So very important testimonials that you have to, that you can illustrate if you want to. And on this part, on this side is all the helpful tips and tricks, the more like mechanical, where when I share drawing tips, or as a weight loss coach, you could either talk about mindset or maybe also practical recipes or something like that. And so I have developed visual worksheets around that. So remember, this one is the authority and the empathy. Oh, I have turned it around. With your name and your title and your promise. So this is actually the summary of it all, of your whole business. And then your story, where you talk about your low point, your turning point, where you discover the game changer. That was when I discovered that drawing can be easy. That was the game changer for me. And then I was happy. I built my business around it, and I have a vision. So this is more for yourself, maybe, where you want to go with your business. But this here is to show your customers. Not to show, also to talk about. So you don't, to be clear, you don't have to illustrate all that. You need to also write about it. You can illustrate it if you want. If you're a singer, you can also sing about it, maybe as a vocal coach, or but you also have to write about it. Tell your story in a way that relates to what you do and that is helpful for your customer. Then here is your point of view, your manifesto, and this is, remember, the big misconception that keeps them stuck. This is at the core of it. And what is the root cause of your customer's dilemma? And why is it bad for the world? So if people don't dare to draw, we drown in a sea of artificially made images and muddled messages. So my big goal is clarity and fun for everybody in business, because otherwise it's, I find so much of business advice and LinkedIn stuff so boring. I can't even. So this is my mission, to bring fun and clarity. So what is your mission? And then what we talked about before, which is really, really important, is your customer's pain pit. What have they tried? What former attempts that didn't work? What is their outer circumstances? What is their, how do they feel? And this is, of course, your point of view. So we have that already here. And what are the buts? Why don't they think they can get there? But I can draw. But I am too confused. But I don't have time. But I don't have an iPad. So these are the buts that you have to address in your messaging. And then paint a picture of how life will be like when they get to paradise. What is the breakthrough feeling? And oops, I forgot the T here. What is the breakthrough feeling? And for some it is oh, it can be simple, or it is, oh, I can draw, or maybe it is, oh, maybe I'm not overeating at all if I apply this mindset. What effect does it have short term and long term, and what effect does it have on the world? And then it also makes sense to draw your process. What is their overall goal? What is the obvious goal? So the obvious goal is to use, for me, for my clients, is to maybe get more clients and more success in business, clarity and more success in business. But the hidden goal is that they are creative and they're not living their creativity, and like closet artists, or at least there's some little creative genius hidden in them that they want to let out. But that's not that's hidden. That's not something we talk about so much, but I know it's there. And also frameworks, and I don't know how much time we have. How can you
If there are no more
depict?
particular questions, feel free to continue.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Ingrid? Yep.
Yeah. What are the, wait, I wanted to go back to this here. The problem for coaches is often that, I mean, if you have physical products, then you can say, this is how it looks like. This is the shoe that I'm selling. If you're a coach or a consultant, then this is often what it looks like. Oops. See the sad eyebrows here that I showed you before? And they so often talk about modalities and what they're doing. And this is actually a sentence that I heard from one of my clients. That's what she said. And this is just too complicated and not really interesting for this suffering client who wants to get out of the pain pit. And that's why it's better to have a drawing of it, where you can show what you're doing. And maybe this is just a really simple, like the arrow that I showed you. And it might also be a good idea to draw your client, but when I say draw and you're not interested in drawing really, then paint a picture with words. Paint a picture of what are they suffering from. And my clients and my audience are, as I said, often creative people who don't have the right outlet, and they have too many ideas, and it doesn't really fit into this linear text. It doesn't make sense. And that's, so I answer, just draw it. So this is my answer to my client's dilemma. And yeah, this is you can also draw a roadmap of how you help your clients to get to their goal. For me, it's first simple sketches, then we clarify your message, then we look at your business, and then so this is actually remember all this stuff. Simple sketches is what we did in the beginning. This was the taster. Then all the vision and story and point of view. This is the left side of my diagram. The results, the process, and the promise is the right side, how you get them there. This is the plane, and then you share it with webinars and on social media. And maybe you want to, maybe somebody must have questions. You must have questions about that.
Exactly. Well, first of all, I want to say how fascinating I found it. I mean, on very many levels. I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm one of those who say I can't draw, blah. But I mean, I've been playing with your little people there, and at least it's really clear what emotion they are feeling. So thank you for these extremely simple tricks, but which I don't know why nobody ever tells us, that, make the eyes, what it changes. It's just so simple. But also on a more deeper level, I thought it was extremely powerful. Well, for everyone to start with, but for example, my audience is very international, and a picture is international. Right? I mean, people can see immediately. They might not always understand the words, especially if you're talking a bit complicated stuff and modalities and all of that, like you were saying. It's a picture makes people resonate emotionally. They're very expressive, those pictures. And I'm thinking, for us personally, as in what do I do? Where do I start? Where do I take them, etc. This must be wonderful to have it all mapped out to literally see instead of all this text left, right, and center. But for our clients as well as a tool to, first of all, express what we're doing for them, where we're going to take them, but also for them then to start tapping into that creative side to express things which not always that easy to put into words. So thank you. Thank you very much. And I love your mission of, the tall girl helping people stand out. Right. Now, do ask questions. Don't be shy. We're here in a very safe space. We're very lucky to have Ingrid live with us. Yes, Firdos. Sorry, I'm not sure you pronounce it that way, but.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hello.
Question, you mentioned something about blame. Can you repeat that? Blaming the problem?
Blaming somebody. You need a scapegoat.
Can you just...
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need it, of course, but it just makes your messaging easier. What is the misconception that keeps your clients stuck? What is the misconception that keeps your clients stuck? Somebody put this misconception in their head. Somebody told them that drawing is art and that they're not good at it. Somebody told them, I mean, what is it you're doing?
Relationship coaching.
So what are, and you're working with men, women, both?
It's still undecided yet. I'm still working on my niche to define it, but I would say people that have struggles with relationships. So often they struggle with maintaining healthy relationships.
So, and it's probably, they're struggling probably because they were told something that is not true.
Right.
That is the misconception.
Okay.
They were told that relationships work a certain way, that men have to be a certain way, that women have to be a certain way. And
yeah, I mean,
if they, yeah.
Okay. I think where I'm going at is often they've had bad role models from their young age, parents, trauma. So their parents didn't have really healthy relationships themselves. So they learned the same patterns and
what are these patterns?
Of role models for how to have healthy relationships. So
So if it's a man, what is a typical
well, they
thing
didn't
that
have,
they get wrong?
yeah, they probably had their father was not an ideal role model, so the parents didn't communicate really well or in a healthy way.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it
he was
would.
getting at the scapegoat idea, as in, you know, that maybe the father then was, for his own reasons, right, for his own victim blaming thing, that he was very aggressive, or that he would put
But you
people
don't want
down.
to blame. You don't want to blame the parents neither, because they are also victims
Yeah.
of some big misconception. That's why I'm drawing the wait, where is it? That's why I'm drawing the, it has disappeared. The enemy as an abstract figure.
Yeah.
Here it is. Hmm.
Yeah. Another
Here.
aspect. Another aspect, they get into relationships and they often blame their partners. So they look at their partners as the fault, but whereas actually they need
So
to
you
take
were told that your partner has to be a different way.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you say you have been told.
So what I'm trying to get at is often in relationships we look outside for the issue, but actually the issue is us. We need to look at ourselves, and a lot of it is actually our childhood patterns, stuff that we grew up. It's the journey is going inward rather than externally to create healthy relationships.
And are there people who are saying that relationships can be fixed outside?
Well, I imagine more so the clients feel this way when it's them basically having pointing the finger of their partners. A lot of times, you get the case where, oh, my partner's a narcissist or is gaslighting or this or that. They throw all these terms, but it's actually we create our own situation.
I think that is the misconception that Ingrid is talking about, as in there is something which is keeping them stuck in this unhealthy relationship in your case, right? So
Right.
there is something. It's some way of having thought the relationships should be. It's a pattern, right? Something that they've experienced from their childhood or from other people or from people around them or that they've read in books or whatever. But there is always a misconception which makes us think that this is the way it is. And it's our role as a coach to visualize that then through Ingrid's methodology so that you can actually see, I think she had before the hidden and the visible or something like that. There's what we think it is, but then we dig and find out the rest, the real cause, right? Not just the first one, that if we stay on that level, we won't be able to resolve their issues.
Yeah. So it would be like this. You have been told that relationships have to be a certain way, but the real cause, nobody told you that the real cause is within you.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to, how do I visualize that, or how do I create that message? Because I'm still, in terms of it's almost the island A concept. It's like, how do I visualize that, or how do I illustrate that? It's my struggle.
I mean, you have to, this here is the pain pit.
Can you zoom in?
This is, am I not sharing?
Yeah, can you
You are,
zoom
but
in?
can you zoom in because it's very little?
Is it?
Oh, no, it's gone.
Shouldn't be.
There we go. That's better.
This
Yes.
is what I was drawing. Maybe you haven't seen it.
No, we were on another page. Yes.
Oh, sorry. So this is the blame, what they think is, and then you just, I mean, this is the pain pit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to visualize. So I like that. Thank you. It wasn't another
Yeah, and this is the cause, but this is not the paradise they're dreaming of.
Right.
This is just a diagnosis.
Right.
You have to, when you talk about your messaging, paint a picture with words also of what they think would be paradise, which is probably a good relationship. Oops. So this is your this is your promise. This here is not your promise. This is your diagnosis.
Right. Okay.
So probably people, if you tell them your relationship is bad now, but it's your own fault, that will probably not get you many clients.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this
Even
helps
if it's true.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I don't say if you want to visualize your drawing, it's your own fault. You just take your pencil and just do it.
yeah, I need to practice on this, but thank you. This is a good start. Thank you.
Doing good.
You're
Anybody
welcome.
else? Anybody else have a question they would like to put to Ingrid before we finish up? Okay, that was Firdaus. No, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, don't hesitate anything either about the drawing or about the uses of it or no. Well, I would certainly encourage people to take down that link if you haven't taken it so that we can call. I've actually already just gone and plugged it in so that we can do that that lovely freebie that you shared with us. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for having, I don't suppose I'd ever really thought of sketching in that way for business, but I am a visual person, and it makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to look forward to playing with my little people and seeing if I can make people recognize which emotion I'm actually trying to convey. So thank you very much. Thank
Can
you
I ask a question,
to
Can you
yes,
hear me?
yes.
I wanted to ask, where can I find the recording for this, please?
Well, you have to go. I'm not quite sure through the website. However, you got registered here. So we're on the IAPC&M website. There will be a place where you can ask that question. I don't know how to answer that myself. We have an IAPC&M website, which is, I dare say, you've registered for this class. So you must have some sort of link there. But I'm going to share the show notes with our back office anyway, because we're putting the replay up. And then Rhea, our lovely assistant, will be able to answer your question directly. Okay?
And I put my website up here, and
Yes, I
I'm
see it.
mostly on LinkedIn if you want to follow me.
Perfect. And Ingrid Lill?
Yes.
And Ingrid
I
Lill. Well,
yeah.
perfect. Thank you. Don't forget the rest of you. Please write down your notes, write down your CPD points. You know, this is building our skill set, etc., for our clients and also for ourselves, because this is a great tool for us to see what we do, how we do it, what we deliver, so that we can, really. Yes, go ahead, Ingrid.
I want to say
Yep.
something. This is so powerful for coaching. I hear that from coaches. I mean, in my membership, there are many coaches, and I hear that again and again. Like once they dare to draw life with them, it's like clients are so thankful, and I'm going to frame this, and they're thankful, and nobody says that this is ugly or something like that. They're just so happy that you're listening. It shows that you're listening, and so also just as a coaching tool, it's great.
I think your example just now with Firdaus was pretty impressive, right? What you were drawing at the same time, and then we could literally see. So thank you for helping us see. Good luck with your clients. Good luck in practicing this skill. Ingrid, thank you very much for sharing your expertise and your time with us here. And see you all again soon. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.